Karma Healing Nursery, Wild. Wait a minute. Let's see if we can sit that up. It's on the bed, so it's not going to be flat, but we'll try. Wild Heart. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm so grateful for your presence. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that shows up on my channel and watches my videos because I'm doing my best to teach the things that I've learned over the years. So one of the things that I've definitely learned is how powerful our words are and how we've been programmed. When I woke up in 2005, I started meditating, and totally, completely transformed my entire being, and it still has to this day, and it continues to every day. And I started thinking about people were calling me crazy a lot, and I was like, crazy, insane. People would say that, oh, you're insane, man. You're insane. That's not helping you. It's not doing anything. And I started thinking about that. I was like, insane. Wait a minute. Because what I realized is when I go into my body by tapping out of this world, I become sane. And I was like, it totally messed with us. It should be unsane, not insane, because when you go in, you're sane. And I am sane. I'm super sane. The world is unsane. Unsane. And so this is another little trick that they've used to mess us up. And then I started looking at the rest of the words and I thought, inability. When I go in, I have ability. Instability. When I go in, I have stability. Indecision. When I go in, I find my decisions. It's everywhere in the words. Invention. When I go in, that you vent. That's how you invent something, because you go in, you find it, and then you bring it into the world. You share it. So it becomes an invention because you're venting it, you're speaking it. It's everywhere throughout the throughout the in words. It's amazing to me how we've been programmed. There's so many. I'll write them down for the next time. I have a book with them that I just keep writing them down, but it's not here. It's in Canada, unfortunately. But if you inversion, when you go in, you find the version of you that's real. It's not about being upside down. It's about being inside out. Because when you meditate and you take time for yourself and you go in, that's when you find your sanity. So you're not insane at all. When you go in, you're sane. You become sane. This world is unsane. So we really have to break down words. When you see words or you're speaking words, break them down and say to yourself, what does this really mean? What does this really mean? How is this word affecting me? Indecision. When I have to find a decision, I go in. Instrument. I am the instrument. That's me. When I go in, I'm playing my music. I'm becoming that superstar, because that's where your power lies. Your power lies in meditation. It lies in you, but you have to go inside to find it. It's not out here in the external world of things and stuff. It's in you. It came with the package. Everything you ever needed came with you. Everything. And I like to say batteries included. It's amazing how powerful words are. And if you really break them down, I do that with everything. I'm a wordsmith as well as a poet. And I've really taken time to see how they've manipulated, especially the English language, to debilitate us, not being able to think correctly and to use our thoughts against ourselves, because thoughts become things. So if you think thoughts with wings, you fly. I prefer to fly. That's way better than the alternative, which is most people are living in, which is unhappiness. But when you go in, you have everything that you could ever need. Yes, it's amazing. Infusion. It's you. You're infusing yourself by taking that time to make time for your precious self. Because when you realize that you're a divine spiritual being having a human experience, when you go in, you tap into your higher self, you tap into your guides, you tap into your angels, you tap into everything around you because you're not working on what's going on out here. You're here. And in here, everything's perfect. You're not incomplete. When you go in, you become complete. See? It's phenomenal to me. Indigestion. When you go in, you're digesting the truth, you're listening to your heart, you're listening, you become more coherent, you become more alive, you become more alert, you become more aware, and you become more grateful, and you appreciate life. Mm. And there's lots of this examples in so many words. I'm impossible. Break that word into two. I'm possible. When I'm possible, anything's possible. There's no such thing as impossible. That is another word that we've been duped with. That doesn't exist. It's just, it's been made up. It's not your true essence. Inorganic. When you go in, you become organic. Is that a good thing? Yes. Why? Because organic is your natural state. It's who you are. You are a divine, spiritual, organic being having a human experience. This is why a lot I talk about on the show is local and organic. This is going to be catchwords in the new age, in the new millennia. Local, organic. If it's not local and if it's not organic, don't be involved. It's poison, and it's been there. It has been put there to be poison. If you go to a grocery store, for example, which I don't do anymore, I haven't for a long time, but you notice they have, like, say 12 aisles, for example, and one aisle says health food. One aisle. What's the rest? It's garbage. It should be labeled aisle 1 to 11, complete and total garbage, not food, not human, not good for you. You should shop in aisle 12. It's healthy. It's healthy. It's organic because you're organic and you're a living being. I quit going to the doctors and taking pills in 2005, which is almost 20 years now. I've never looked back. I've had all kinds of injuries and I've grown things on myself. And how do I heal them? I go inside here, and I listen to my body. My body says, okay, quit doing this because this is what's causing it. And whenever I quit doing that, whatever I did, because I created it, nobody else created. This is the funniest part for me about doctors. I always cracks me up. So you go to the doctor and he says, what's wrong? Right? And then you tell him what's wrong. Well, if you made it, he didn't. So how's he going to fix you? He's going to give you medication. It doesn't fix anything. They were called band-aids for a reason. It just masks the problem and it hides it, or it suppresses it and it'll just sit there and you'll be numbed out and you won't feel it, but it's not gone. No, it's just waiting for its chance to spring up and be even stronger and more potent and take you out. So you really have to take time and be conscious of the words you're using. If you have financial issues, and if you say all the time, I'm broke, I don't have enough, I'll never make it, these words are being spoken directly to the universe, and the universe gives you what you ask for. If you say, I'm broke, the universe says, you want to be broke. Let's give you broke. No problem. Here you go. Here's broke. And you're like, I can't believe it. Everything's terrible. But if you say to the universe, I'm abundant, I'm joyful, I'm fun, I'm happy, I'm here, I'm present, I'm alive, then the universe says, here you go. Here's all of those fabulous things. What we speak comes into form. Always. What you talk about comes about. And a big part of life, especially as we age, is letting go, which is the hardest thing. For example, I've been smoking cannabis since I was 12, and I'll be 55 in January. And I've had for the last year a very crusty nose, very crusty. And my nose grew. It was getting bigger because they had so much mucus crusts, especially on the left-hand side. Today, I'm day 6, cannabis free, because I listened to my body. I went in and I said, what's up? My body said, what is it? What do you think it is? And because of the smoke going up my nose, dehydrate my nose, and it made it crusty, which is sort of challenging for me because cannabis is my go-to. It's my medicine. I've used it for many years to help calm my mind, especially in a world that we live in that's totally chaotic. That's how I see it anyways. But it's coming. We've just passed through the most incredible time in human history. And this is some incredible things going on our planet. But now, day 6, my nose is feeling much better. I couldn't breathe through my left nostril for a year because I had this stress. And instead of dealing with it and healing it, I just kept pushing forward, pushing forward, pushing forward. And what happens? It just keeps breaking down, breaking down, breaking down. But now I feel much better, so much better. Do that for yourself. Take a deep breath in. What is that word? Inspire. What does that mean? To oxygenate. To oxygenate. And when you're fully oxygenated, you are living from pure bliss. You have all of your faculties available for you. All of the information that you could ever ask for is right here, right now, in you. Batteries included. You, everything that you needed for your entire journey came with you when you were born, when you were a little baby. You're just like a seed. See, as a gardener, I learned so much from my seeds. See, when you put a seed in the ground, sometimes they come up, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they grow amazingly fast and produce tons of fruit. Sometimes they grow really slow and then produce tons of fruit. Some don't produce fruit. Some grow and then die. But that's all in the seed and the conditions. The seed has all the information it needs. You can't take an apple seed and put it into the ground and get zucchini. No, you get an apple tree, which will make apples. So the information's in that seed, but the conditions, if you have the right soil, which is beautiful and full of nutrients, and you give it the right amount of water and it has the right amount of sunshine, these plants are going to thrive. And it's no different than us. So if you're hydrated, if you get sunshine, and if you put yourself in the right conditions, life shows up magically and you become inspired, you become oxygenated. And when you're inspired, you want to share, because when you realize that we are one, just one, we are all one. We, when I help you, I help me, because we're elevating our consciousness. So anybody that is getting anything from my videos is helping me, because I'm helping them help me, help them help me. It's a reciprocal process. Everything is. So if you put love and happiness and peace and goodness out into the bubble, the world, you get back love, happiness, and peace. Oh boy, this is a good way to live. It's so much easier than living full of stress, full of fear, full of anxiety, which is where a lot of people are, but they're not ready for ascension. There are many timelines running here on Mother Earth. We are all unique and different souls. Some of us are newbie souls. This is our first time here on Earth. Some of us have been here a lot. I believe that I am definitely one of, I know that I'm one of them, because I'm at a point where I'm ready to say thank you, Mother Earth. I love you. I really appreciate all of the teachings and all of the time that I've spent here. And now I'm ready to expand my consciousness and move to the next level. The fifth dimension isn't another place, it's another level of energy, another level of consciousness, another level of awareness. And when you feel it, you get energized. My friends on Facebook, especially, that are like me, crazy posters that are always posting all of these positive memes, they're feeling it. And you can't deny that, because it's not something extrinsic, it's something intrinsic. Everything that intrinsic it comes in through you. You are the vessel. And it is your journey. Only you know the information necessary for you to have your life. Nobody else does. And nobody else has ever lived your life. Nobody. That's why you're unique. And it's when you're your authentic self, you create miracles in your life, in your body, in your surroundings, in your family, in your friends, in your community. It's amazing how powerful we are as conscious creators. As unconscious creators, we are super unpowerful. we're lost. We're anxious, we're fearful, and we're stressed out. The human body loves short-term stress, like going for a run, going for a hike, going for a swim. Short-term stress that's good for your body, whatever it is, even if it's writing a book, completing a project. Short-term stress. The human body hates long-term stress. That's where we come up with chronic illness. Because if you don't listen to your body when it's telling you how to heal yourself and go get some pills, you're just going to keep dealing with the same thing over and over. And as I've discussed many times on my podcast, time isn't linear, it's cyclical. And it doesn't really exist because it's always now. So, your job as a conscious creator in this cyclical universe is to become be able to recognize your patterns. It's all about pattern recognition because when we do something, it comes up again and comes up again and comes up again until we learn the lesson, because we've asked for these lessons before we got here. We wrote sacred contracts and we said, these are all the lessons that I want to learn. And then we took on spiritual amnesia, so we completely forgot that we're divine spiritual beings, and we just think that we're humans. Which is awesomely funny. I love it because we're not. Your body is human, but it stays here. It stays here. Your spirit is eternal. You're here forever. Your spirit is you. You can't turn it off. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. No, it has been created. It's been created to be you, and that was God. Thank you, God, or universe, or source energy, whatever you want to call it, whatever works for you. This divine intelligence that created the human body and gave us this incredible power to create. There's right now on our planet, there's some incredible beings that are helping us out, the Pleiadians and the Andromedans, the Arcturians, and they're blasting massive energy waves into the pyramids all over the planet here on Mother Earth. And the pyramids, by the way, are energy centers. They're not just big rock structures that people built so that they could have a giant tomb, which is what we've been taught, which is incorrect. If you've ever done any research or studied the pyramids, the rocks that they use are so gigantic that to this day we still don't have a machine that could lift one of them. We don't have not even one machine that could lift one of these rocks, yet they're all perfectly placed. Perfectly. That's because they were using a different intelligence. They were using levitation and energy, and gravity is a choice. I know it seems strange, but gravity is a lie again, because we're electromagnetic, and so is the planet. We're not stuck to it. No, not by any means, but we think we are. Levitation exists, but you have to get to a place in your mind, in your body, where you realize that we're not real. When you look at the human body looks real, but it's mostly space. It's 99.9999% space. We're like 0.00001% real. The rest of us is pure energy. And when you realize that by seeing it with your real eyes, you get excited and you go, oh wow, that's amazing. And nothing here is real. This is just a 3D holographic universe, and we're being projected down here by our higher selves. Your higher self is always available. It's always available for communication, for anything, but you have to be sober. You have to be in a good frame of mind, and you have to ask. So a lot of people are like, whoa, God doesn't visit me. God visits those people that take care of themselves. And what that means is that you have to up-level your energy so that God shows up in your life. And in order to up-level your energy, you have to eat good food, organic, local food. High vibrational food that you've grown, if possible, is phenomenal. You have to get exercise, daily exercise. You need to meditate. And these aren't, these are practices. And these are practices that anybody can adopt. When I went back to university in 2007, I wrote a paper called Yoga, Meditation, and Fasting. Those are your three superpowers, can cure anything, absolutely anything. And fasting is the best one. If you have a practice of fasting where you take 1 day a week and don't eat, your body will regenerate on that day every week, and you'll never deal with health issues. You have two choices. You can feed your soul or you can feed your whole. Your tongue has taste buds, and they're all about immediate gratification. Your body, who are you feeding? Your tongue, this little piece, or your body? Your body shows you gratification by giving you energy, by giving you the ability to do things that you couldn't normally do, and to make you happy, healthy, and harmonious, which is something that we discuss a lot here on Plant-Based Brent's Karma Healing Nursery. If you want to live happy, healthy, and harmonious, you have to take responsibility for your life. Again, responsibility, the ability to respond. What does that mean? Well, we're all, for the most part, still stuck in fight or flight. That's when something happens, we react and we freak out. I'm not. That's not where you need to be. You need to respond. So you need to take a deep breath. Let's do it together. Count to 10. And then you respond to whatever stimulus is in your environment. When you take that moment to go in, slow down, you recognize, wow, okay, it's not that bad. I can do this. I can do this. But when you freak out, it's not good for your body. Your body's meant to be in harmony. It's meant to be in balance. Imbalance. I'm balanced. And when I'm balanced, life is magical because I'm not pushing too hard anywhere. If you're going to use anything, less is more, which is a challenge in this world of abundance. We have so many magical, delicious, fantastic, wonderful foods and creations. But if it's not healthy, it's not a real treat. No, it's not a real treat. It's poison. And if you take, like, we all work on the reward system. If I do this, then I can have this. If I do this, then I can have this. What you have to recognize is once you do this, if this isn't good for you, then it's not a treat. It's bad. It's a bad idea. And that was something that I used to do many years. I smoked cigarettes for 20 years, 30 years almost, pardon me. And it was my reward. I did this so I can have a cigarette. Well, if my reward is making me sick, how is that good? If it's not good for you, if it's not healthy, if it doesn't make you feel better, don't do it. And we all know, I knew every time I went to have a cigarette that it was an unhealthy choice. It's been 10 years now since I've quit. And I'll never go back. Will not quit, let it go. You can't quit anything, as I've discussed on a few of the podcasts before. because we've been programmed not to quit. As a baby, you fall down so many times, and if you would have quit, you'd not be walking today. If you would have just said, fuck it, I'm going to crawl for the rest of my life. So you have to let it go. And when you let it go, you have to replace it with something that makes you feel good. So I took my cigarette habit and I turned it into a habit of running. Yeah. And what did that make me feel? Empowered, inspired, healthy, happy. And I was blown away that I could do it because I didn't think I could do it. And then I ran 2 half marathons, which are 21 kilometers, and I was very good at it. And I still run to this day in the forest, barefoot, with my girl who's asleep here beside me, Estrella, my my four-legged best buddy. So you really have to realize the power of your words and what you're speaking into the universe, because we've been programmed, like I said, by words like insane. This guy's insane. Is incorrect. Incorrect. When you go in, you become sane. That's and when you go in, you find out that that's correct. This world is unsane. Unsane. Not in. So use your words and be very conscious of what you're speaking and thinking, because when you're thinking, it's no different than speaking. Not at all. It's it's a mantra. The most, whatever you think about the most comes about. So think thought think thoughts with wings. Simple. Think happy thoughts. My mantra, my go-to, Ho'oponopono. I've talked about this lots. I've done a few podcasts on it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. This is me speaking to my higher self, saying, I'm sorry. I'm trying, but I have this spiritual amnesia and I forgot what the hell I'm doing here. Please forgive me. I'm working on it. I'm going to get there. And then gratitude and appreciation. Thank you. I love you. That's powerful. And what I do is when I have any of those limiting beliefs come up, I'm not good enough. Well, I don't anymore, but I did for years. I'm not smart enough. I'm not fast enough. I'm not tall enough, which has all been programmed into us, which is all bullshit because you're a divine spiritual being having a human experience. As soon as you have those thoughts, you can repeat your mantra. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. If that's too much for you, you can just go down to one word. And when you find that those thoughts, or you feel those thoughts bubbling up, say change. Make them go away. Have a new thought. I want a better thought. I want a thought that makes me feel empowered, that makes me feel healthy, that makes me feel whole, happy, and complete. I don't want to feel disabled. It's very challenging because in this world, we've been taught that we're not good enough, smart enough, fast enough, tall enough, strong enough, pretty enough, handsome enough, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. You're you. You're authentically you. Nobody else can be you. So take that time to make time for your precious self and go in. When you go in, you will find so many magical ways of being better version of yourself, being a better version of yourself. And that's all we can do. Every day, I try to be a little bit better than I was yesterday. A little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. It's not about leaps and bounds or about reinventing the wheel. It's about just progressing and practicing and working on yourself. Do it because you're worth it. You're a phenomenal, fantastic being. And if you're here on my channel, it's not by accident. You've been attracted here 100%. we are on the same frequency. And so I'm here to help. You're here to help me by being here. So this is a reciprocal process. I help you, you help me, I help you, you help me. And if you really want to help, like this video. If you really, really want to help, subscribe to my channel. If you want to make my day, put something in the comments. Tell me about words that have been challenging for you. As a wordsmith and a poet, I have learned so much about the English language and how we've been debilitated. So I break down all the words. I really do. And one of the biggest ones for me was economy. Eco, no, my. This is what? Ecological, our Earth, planet Earth, Mother Earth. No, my. It's an egoic based system. Ego, edging God out. That's right. Because you're all about yourself and you're not about the collective. When you're about the collective, when you're about the whole of humanity, you just want to give. God intended vibrational energy. That's right. Because in giving that we receive. Right now I'm giving and I receive, because at the end of this, when I open my eyes, I'll see that some people watched or that I got some comments or whatever it is. But people have to be ready too. So you can't, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Trust me, I tried with my mom for a very long time. 20 years since I've woken up. It's a process. Everything's a process, and you're a process. But you have to practice that. You have to practice being a better version of yourself every day. How can I be just a little bit better today? What can I do just a little bit better today? All right. I don't know if I'm anywhere near 30 minutes here, but that's the time that I allow for these. And it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday that I do these every week. This is my 7th week. This is podcast 21. And so I'll be back on Monday. I really appreciate all of the feedback that I've been getting about my podcast. It's really warmed my heart. Barb, my sister, who I love so much because she's my only family member that watches my videos, and they're helping her, which for me is magical, because I've spent a lot of time working on myself, and now it's a chance for me to help other people work on themselves with the knowledge that I have gained, wisdom and knowledge. There's no ledge, no ledge, knowledge. There's no ledge. It's endless. You don't know what you don't know, and that's okay, because like I just said, it's endless. The amount of wisdom that you can gain here is astronomical. We've just touched the surface. We're just the tip of the iceberg. So we have to keep opening up every day, opening up, opening our hearts and being here now. Because when you're here now, everything's possible. Everything. Impossible, I'm possible. When I'm possible, everything's possible, because you have so much power. You have no idea how powerful you are until you tap that. And once you tap it, you will get it. And once you get it, you'll never lose it. Once you become conscious, you can't go backwards. You can't say, you know what? That whole conscious thing was a bit much for me. I think I'm just going to be a jerk again. You can't, because you feel better, you look better, you sound better, life's better. So why would you go backwards? That doesn't make any sense in any way, shape, or form, does it? No, it doesn't. It just doesn't. So do your best to be your best. Really, really, really pay attention to the words that you're speaking out and the thoughts that you're thinking. If you're at the bank machine and you're like, oh, I'm fucked, you're going to be fucked. But if you're like, oh, I'm abundant, you're going to be abundant. Everything in the universe is interconnected, and everything will reverberate your thinking. It will bring it back to you and your speaking. everything. It's all a reciprocal process. And time, as I've said many times, is not linear. It's cyclical. It's never not now, and it's all about pattern recognition. So as soon as you recognize something that isn't working in your life, you have the opportunity to let it go. And once you let it go, you feel better. And then once you've let it go for a while, you feel amazing. And then all of a sudden you're like, I don't even want that anymore, which was for me an example, cigarettes, because I had to love myself enough that I didn't want to poison myself. And we know what poisons are. We know what toxins are. Our body can tell us exact before you do it. Body gives you that, yeah, that's not a good idea. But we override that and say, yeah, you just shh. Whatever it is. But you know, as a conscious being, you cannot turn off your consciousness. We all know the difference between right and wrong, good and bad, which doesn't really exist. But on this plane in the 3D, it does. Uh, but it's not true because everything just is. We label it good or bad, right or wrong. We do because, for example, say two people are watching and they see a car accident. One person goes, "Oh my God, they're gonna die. This is terrible." And the other person goes, "I pray that everything works out." What do you think's gonna happen? Right? So it depends on how you're projecting that. And people, like two people can see the same accident and you ask them to describe it on paper and they saw a completely different thing. Completely, completely. Because it's through your lens. It's through the lens that you're seeing. If you're seeing it through fear, anxiety, stress, you're going to say, "Oh my God, they're all going to die." But if you're seeing it through your power, you're like, it's all good. They're going to work it out. So it's perfect. So let's take one more deep breath. Inspired, inspire, oxygenate your body. Your body is your vessel. My life is my laboratory. My body is my temple. Love is my practice. I'm going to open my eyes now. I'm super grateful for all of you that have shown up. Oh, I'm not even looking at the camera. And I'm way in. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you. We'll see you on Monday. Have an amazing weekend, you beautiful being. Ah, woo!